Wow.
What?
This is why they pay us the big bucks, to break down games like this.
Do we decide if we were going to use the funky music or not?
I don't think that was a debate tonight. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Losers Lounge. We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Make sure to use the code DNVR when you sign up and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Apologies for my betting advice tonight.
My God.
DeAndre Jordan did not get a double-double. The Nuggets did not win. We're going to break it all down for you. Actually, there is a lot to get to. We'll do the fast recap. We'll get into our notes, and I think there were a lot of them. There were definitely some takeaways from tonight. First of all, joined here by Brendan Vogt.
Oh, well, thank you for introducing me. What an exciting, vibey show we've got lined up.
We are
wait.
vibeless right now.
Dude.
We need vibes. I need vibes from somewhere, anywhere.
Oh, we need
somebody, anybody.
Yeah.
Yaya
Super
behind
Jets,
the
maybe
glass
by the
trying to
end
give
of
me
the-
vibes.
We had a vibiotomy
God.
performed on us in the middle of that fourth quarter, and now we're positively vibeless.
Vibiotomy. We're minus vibes right now.
Dude,
Also
it's
joined
bad.
by D-Line. That's him right
Hey,
there.
what's up, guys? Glad to be back. This is amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
Is
first
this what this is
Nuggets
like?
post-game lounge for you in a while.
So let me recap what it is to be a Nuggets fan.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm out of practice. But is it always where Jokic has COVID and they lose in heartbreaking fashion in the fourth, and none of the starters score in the fourth?
Depends
and
what
you
year
can't
you're
figure
in.
out
Yeah.
what just happened. Is this what it's like? I don't remember.
Not usually, Eric.
Oh, okay.
So the Nuggets fall to the Knicks tonight, 106-103. They blow lead in the fourth quarter. Should we do a fast recap here?
Let's
I think
do
you
it.
just did one.
I got to do a fast recap for the people. This game started with Julius Randle coming out en fuego, and that was a sign of things to come. He came out, hit his first 2 shots of the game. He had 9 of the Knicks' first 11. 2 open threes, knocked them right down. Denver's game plan was to let Julius Randle and the Knicks beat them from 3. Well, Julius Randle beat them from everywhere
I was going to
tonight.
say, wow, that game plan worked.
Yeah. He had 24 points in the first half, 7 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 7 from deep. Jamal Murray had a great first half, too. He got cooking in the first and second quarters. I thought he looked smooth. He looked aggressive. He was in rhythm, getting to his spots, and really just looking for his shot. He had 12 points in his first 14 minutes. MPJ did not have a good first half, did not have a good game tonight. He went for 3 points on 1 of 8 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3 in the first half. If you're looking at the stat sheet, yes, he did not attempt a shot in the second half. Denver found some momentum to open the third. This was a close game throughout the first half. It was a close game throughout the second half. The Nuggets got some momentum after halftime. Michael Malone goes to a Bones Hyland, Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, Vlatko Čančar, Zeke Nnaji lineup late in the third. That lineup blew the game open, kind of.
It totally worked.
The Nuggets had a 9-point lead because of that lineup early in the fourth. Then Bones took over. A couple deep threes, a couple near logo threes. Of course, it felt like that was going to give Denver momentum for good, like Bones Hyland threes typically do. Zeke Nnaji was even playing well.
Dude.
Big offensive rebound, a couple nice finishes inside.
How is this not a winner's lounge?
It looked like the Nuggets were going to win, and we were going to be in a winner's lounge. Denver's offense just sputtered. Nuggets could get nothing going on offense throughout most of the fourth after that run at the beginning of the quarter. The starters came in. Jamal Murray couldn't get anything to go. They were settling for threes. Michael Porter Jr. was nowhere to be found. And Denver scored 2 points between the 6-minute mark of the fourth and when there was 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the fourth. 5 minutes about where they did not score a single point. They were down 1 with 30 seconds left. Couldn't get a good shot up. Jamal Murray couldn't shake Jericho Sims. KCP's prayer didn't go. Then they were down 3 on their final possession. Coming out of a timeout, Jamal Murray just dribbled the clock down, couldn't get off a good look. I don't know what that play was.
Was that a play?
Didn't
I
seem
don't know.
like it.
I'm not sure. But that shot didn't go. Denver loses 106-103. A game that it felt like really for like 42, 43 minutes of game time that
Right
the
in
Nuggets
their
were going to
hand.
win.
Right in their
It
hand.
felt like they were going to win. Let's go to big takeaways. Brendan Vogt, what do you got?
Mostly reared its head in crunch time, but there's no identity without Jokic, and that's okay, he's supposed to be there, fine. But we've seen that rear its head with the bench and the non-Yoke minutes, and it is eerily reminiscent of the LeBron later Cavs years, where it's just everything is about what it's like when the ball's in his hands. And when he isn't on the floor, it just seems like there's not a cohesive game plan. There was a lot of fight. Malone tinkered. There was that good funky lineup that seemingly broke the
Very
game
funky.
open, like you said. Like
Extremely funky.
They were in a position to win this game, and then I think when push came to shove, it was a bit identityless, and those starters just didn't know where to go, and it just ended up being Murray dribbling a lot. So it was tough to watch, and also I will say another reminder that it's going to be up and down with Jamal, right? Like we saw him play really well up front for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we said maybe he's back, and I think this is a good reminder that it's not a full-on Jamal Murray quite yet.
Yeah.
D-line, what's your
takeaway? I mean, that is the big takeaway. It's that the Nuggets without Jokic are barely a team. Like,
right.
So this game is meaningless in many ways. It would have been cool to steal it. The Nuggets should have stolen it.
Yeah.
And I think my big takeaway in the context of this game is like, bro, Michael Porter Jr. Man, like you are in a position where you are one of the big dogs on this team, and they were without their leader tonight. The Nuggets didn't have the most important part, so like that should be incumbent on you to step up. It like he started off like it wasn't at first for lack of effort. He just wasn't hitting shots. Like, okay, that's fine. Like shooters shoot though, man. Like shooters, for example, shoot even one time in the second half. Like when he missed, I mean, he was like 1 for 8. Like he didn't have it, but like then you just watch his head drop and you're like, oh no, like here comes this like pouty body language. And then he just like was just like sort of a participant in the game. Like wasn't setting screens, wasn't doing any of the little things, wasn't like really defending, jumping into shooters again, like the same stuff that we saw in Boston. It's just like, it's so disappointing when your team needs you so desperately in a game like this, and one of your massive stars just is a complete and utter no-show.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Porter tonight, 5 points, 1 of 8 shooting, like you said, did not attempt a shot in the second half. And I think it was his first 3-point attempt that he made, and then he missed his next 7.
Right, and it's like, Michael Porter Jr. plays a dependent brand of basketball. He is notably bagless. Like he doesn't just get the ball and create his own shot, but he also like wasn't like cutting hard. He didn't want the ball.
I do think, much like the Boston game, my biggest knock on him this season so far is when those early shots don't fall, he does seem to withdraw himself from the contest a bit, and he puts his head down. And there are other ways you can get involved, keep up the effort on the defense and the glass, but then also go get it. You know what I mean? Like don't be afraid to keep shooting. Have that short memory, and it did feel like it was a lot of standing around.
Dude, every time that you saw a close up of his face, he was just like,
yeah, it looks like he didn't want to be there. I was shocked he got subbed back into the game late, to be honest. Brutal. But I mean, I think we can stick with that. I don't think Michael Porter should be like the black sheep for this game or whatever.
This is like, listen, like this is not an indictment of Michael Porter Jr. the player, but like he was bad tonight. And we're talking about this game.
We're talking about this game.
And this
game, he was bad.
A golden opportunity for him to step up and have a great game. We were here talking on the pregame show, like, oh, is Jamal Murray going to be the guy? Is Michael Porter Jr. going to be the guy? Are they both going to try to, take that lead role tonight? And Jamal Murray clearly did, and Michael Porter didn't. And I know, like, when Michael Porter has these games and doesn't shoot the ball a lot, people are like, oh, well, he doesn't get the ball. Well, he's got to help himself out. I mean, he's just standing around out there.
And we're one game off of when he just did that, when we saw that yield positive results. So I think it's very fair.
He was bad. He wasn't the reason the Nuggets lost tonight, though. It was crazy how coming down the stretch of this game, the Nuggets, who have had 2 days off, seemed like the team that just didn't have that extra gear. And the Knicks, who are on the toughest back-to-back in the league,
I know,
won in Utah in a close game last night, And it felt like they had an extra gear tonight. Like the Knicks had more energy. They were like the aggressor down the stretch in the fourth quarter, and the Nuggets were just like holding on for dear life almost. That is the part that probably irked me more than anything tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily felt like they weren't playing hard or anything.
No, not at all. It's just like they just didn't have that juice.
Right.
And the Knicks did when they weren't supposed to.
And they did look, just about all of them looked scared to be on the floor in crunch time a little bit, or just disinterested. So
to me, it's not disinterested. They don't know what to do.
That's it. Identityless.
I mean, and like you don't develop like an identity outside of Nikola Jokic. You don't do that. You just like, so when Nikola Jokic isn't here, it's like, oh man, like we just have to have our like hoopers step up and they got to hoop, right?
Yeah.
And they were until the end. Like clutch time was always when you like really learn about a player, like
sure.
And for example, like we kind of know where Jamal Murray is. Like he started when the heat was not hot, he was in it and you could count on him. And then like as the pressure ratcheted up, it's like, okay, he's still not quite here.
Right.
Bones Hyland, on the other hand, only guy out there. That guy wanted all of the smoke. That guy never stopped. That guy wanted to win this game. He was the only player, maybe outside of Bruce Brown, that I can think of that like really showed me that they wanted this win. Jamal Murray
Zeke had some good moments tonight too.
But like in the waning moments, like Bones Hyland was the one that stepped up. That's like not what we were expecting.
Yeah. I want to get to Bones. I just want to say this point about MPJ real quick. We've always talked about him as like this guy who could go to the Hawks or go to like the Magic and average 25 points a game. I think tonight showed that he is still pretty reliant on Nikola Jokic to get a lot of his offense. And it was a little bit of evidence about how much Nikola Jokic helps Michael Porter Jr. out. Because the same shots that he's getting with Nikola Jokic on the floor, like those were nowhere to be found tonight.
Yeah, he's an off-ball player. I mean, Helio Mike would be a disaster for any team, so there's no doubt about that. Although I did think, though, even to start this game, he got 4 or 5 looks that are super, or 3 or 4 looks that are super makeable for him.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, we know he's limited in terms of putting the ball on the floor. So to me, it wasn't actually no Jokic and he couldn't do anything. He still got looks. He just bricked them.
Yeah.
He just bricked them. And I still think he's had a great season. But I think it's the big knock in the 2 games he hasn't played well. You can sort of watch him grow dejected after those misses and take himself out of the game when, and this is a compliment, he's actually shown this year he can have winning impacts outside of that. So just wanted to see it tonight, and we didn't. So, it's tough.
The Nuggets they didn't have any juice tonight. Especially in the second half, they looked soft. They lacked physicality.
It wasn't the whole time, man. It was like they had a very comfortable lead.
Yeah.
Until about 4 minutes.
I'm speaking late in the fourth quarter when the Knicks turned it up.
Yes.
And the Nuggets were like, oh, let's just have Jamal Murray dribble around and shoot a 3.
Dude, what was happening?
Well, they didn't. I mean, I feel like they drew up the out of bounds portion of that play, and then there was nothing from there.
Well, let's talk about the last play of the game.
Do we have to? Was that a play?
The Nuggets were coming out of a timeout. I don't know what to call it. And like Jamal Murray just dribbled around for 10 seconds and couldn't really get off a shot.
He fully didn't get off a shot.
No screen, no nothing,
no
0 pass possession. That it seems like might have just been called for Jamal Murray to ISO.
Yeah.
After a quarter where it seemed like he spent the entire time ISOing and he wasn't able to like get any airspace. So I wasn't really surprised when he couldn't get any on that final possession. I don't really know what happened there. Maybe we'll get some clarification from the guys at the arena, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had very little confidence in that. With each dribble he took, my confidence really, really dropped out. It just was not Jamal's night in the fourth quarter. It was not too much dribbling. And I think one thing, excuse me, I saw a couple people pointing this out on the old interwebs tonight, and I think they're dead right. One area of tentativeness or inability maybe is just he gets the switch and he's not crushing those the way he used to. It's not maybe a little too much thinking or dancing. These are guys he should be able to get by and can, so I think it's just some more evidence that there's a little bit more, or maybe plenty more for Jamal to grow between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, guys, to me, the biggest thing that was not just a winnable game, they had a double-digit lead, that just the late game execution without Jokic, the lack of an identity without Jokic, it was glaring.
It really was. Denver just didn't have any purpose like late in the fourth quarter of this game. It was
even to be
disappointing to see.
Entertaining.
Yeah.
Like that's really their main purpose as a basketball team, to just entertain us.
Sure. It is an entertainment business after all.
In that sense, they had no purpose. That was not entertaining. That was terrible.
For sure. I mean, there were a couple bright spots tonight. Bones Hyland looked like he was going to win this game for Denver. He finishes with 21 points off the bench, tied for a team high. 7 of 15 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3. 7 rebounds for Bones Hyland tonight.
Yeah.
2 assists, 1 turnover. He was a -6, but he is our DraftKings king of the game. Yair, if you've got that ready to go. There it is. 21 points, 7 rebounds. The DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game.
Dope. This should have been a vibey, bonesy celebration lounge where we were just talking about how dope Bones is.
Releasing a shirt.
Yeah, dude. How he has unlimited range. He has no fear. He'll go in amongst the trees. Like he'll do whatever it takes. And he's like physically not one of the most, even close to the most imposing guy out on the court, but like he just doesn't care. I love the way that Bones.
In a good way, yeah.
I just love it, dude. Like, I mean, sometimes it works against him, but like nights like tonight where Bones is just feeling it and like he understands. Like he is one of like the only basketball players, I swear, in the league that like appreciates that. Again, their main objective is to be entertaining.
Like, I mean, he definitely is that.
He plays with joy. It's like he wants people in the arena have fun, you know, versus like most every other basketball player. They're like, you know, we're off to Milwaukee next. Just like the most joyless expression of basketball. Like, Bones. That's not what Bones is about. And I just wish we were able to focus on that.
I know this should have been a Bones night. I mean, he's like one of the few guys on the Nuggets that wanted this one tonight. You felt like I almost wonder if the ball should have been in his hands at the end of this game and not Jamal's.
And he might have just taken a bad shot, but also, is that worse than that possession? Probably not, especially with the way he was shooting.
Was that even a bad shot? That wasn't even a shot, dude. That was just a bad.
Right. Just a bad.
Yeah. Zeke Nnaji looked good tonight.
Okay.
He actually started off like in the first half playing really poorly. I was like, well, this might be it for Zeke. Then the second half, I thought he had some great moments. He was on the floor for a lot of the fourth quarter. He finished as a +2 in this game. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 26 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field. Only 3 rebounds, but I don't know. You just felt his impact a little more tonight than he usually do.
Sorry, we're talking about Zeke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I spaced out there for a second. I just want to say real quick to the chat, we hit the super chats at the end of the show, so we saw that and we will get it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was a tale of two halves for Zeke, and I thought a big part of what made the second stint successful is what made the first stint a nightmare, and that's rebounding. And that's really the biggest thing he can do when he's on the floor to A, help the team, but B, I think, earn potentially more minutes or at least ingratiate himself in the eyes of the staff. And he had some big ones. He had one massive offensive rebound in the second half that turned into a Bones 3. That was actually when I thought that game was won. So I thought he worked through. He looked rusty at first, looked like a guy that hasn't played much. And then I thought he worked through it and found something by the end. It's mostly about rebounding, and it was nice to see him figure some of that out.
How encouraged are you by Zeke's game tonight? No, not doing it for you?
He's fine. He looked fine.
Yeah.
But it's just like Zeke's not a guy we're going to be counting on. This is the first part of this. Like, there's so little to take from this game from a long-term standpoint.
Right.
This game, hopefully, is a full outlier in the story of the Nuggets this season. Like, we'll be like, oh, remember those couple games that Jokic didn't play? And it's like we didn't really know what was going on. Zeke came in. He had a couple. He played with a little heart, and he uncorked or attempted to uncork one of the slowest 3-point shots I've ever seen in my entire life, and a guy was able to block it that started off 20 feet away from him.
Jericho Sims, who I actually want to spend
Jericho
an entire
Sims.
segment on. He has like a 45-inch vert.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I love what I mean. Like, we watch the Nuggets. Like, I want every Nugget to be good. I truly do. Like, I love when guys get an opportunity and they do it. They do right, and they, like Zeke definitely didn't hurt his stock tonight. I don't know that he like vaulted into the rotation.
Yeah, I don't think he did, but I think it was a positive, an encouraging game from him.
He was part of the best lineup, right? The best lineup, the best stretch of the game for sure.
Yeah, most assuredly. But I mean, like, what do you take from this game?
Yeah,
especially for Zeke.
Yeah, what time are we at on the show?
21:31.
All right, let's hit a break real quick. We'll get to some more notes from this game on the other side.
Behind the scenes, dude.
We've got Adam and Dev at the arena tonight. We'll speak to both of them here at Michael Malone, and I'm sure Jamal Murray and Bones Hyland have to say after this game.
They're getting Dippin' Dots.
It's probably a beer.
I bet the two of them are eating a berry kebab.
A berry kebab. We'll speak to them. We'll also probably go around the association, see what's popping around the rest of the league
dude,
after this.
DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook, and the bar just shut the lights off on us. We're still here.
The bar was so pissed about that game that
the bar
they just shut the lights off.
Is DNVR done?
That's it. Pack it up. We're done. But DraftKings Sportsbook isn't done. They're just getting started because, as you guys well know, the NBA is back. You guys just watched your favorite basketball game of all time. And with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, new customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet. You get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings same-game parlays. Stepped up same-game parlays. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions do apply. See those show notes for details. When's the last time either of you played golf?
Dude, the last time I played golf, I played so poorly.
Was that a change up from the normal outing?
You son of a bitch. I'm a pretty good golfer. Who here seen me golf?
I've seen you go. I actually saw you rip one once.
I was a good golfer.
I was actually disappointed. I thought you were going to
know,
shank
dude.
it.
I know.
Well, you don't have to be a good golfer to look good on the golf course. You just need Pins and Aces in your life. They're the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. We love our Pins and Aces gear. Eric gets tons of compliments on the court.
Dude. People compliment me all the time on a variety of things.
Just a
They're like,
endless
they
stream
just
of
look at me and
compliments.
they look for a compliment. They're like, is that Pins and Aces?
You're a really good golfer. Did you know that? You're really good.
Is something wrong with the audio here?
No, I think we're fine.
Oh, chat says there's something.
No, okay.
All
Keep
right.
going.
Anyway, Pins and Aces is family owned, and they're based right here in Colorado.
Let's go.
So many chances to get your fits off, get your swag on the course. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even our favorite, the beer sleeve. Very innovative product. It's very important that when you go golfing, you can store 7 beers right inside of your golf bag and keep the drinks cold the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR. You get 15% off your first order and free shipping. That's at Pins and Aces.
People are saying it sounds like there's a mic in the kitchen. And there's background noise at the bar when there is nothing going on at the bar right now.
There's not even a bar, Chris.
So there's I don't know what is going on here.
The bar has never been more quiet. It's,
Please fix this. I think we're back. Okay.
Do we think we're better?
Let's go.
I really have.
In the background muted, but it might have gone through to them.
Oh my
it was
god.
Dev.
It's goddamn Dev, dude. Dude, if we go to Ballerina and Dev is doing dishes,
That would be a
be
shocker of the
amazing.
century. Let's run down the rest of this box score. KCP, 13 points, 5 and 9 shooting, hit a couple threes. I mean, I feel like his 3 changed the momentum of the game, like that big one he had in the fourth quarter. But he picked up a technical tonight. I felt like the Nuggets let the refs, who, of course, the refs had some questionable calls tonight. I mean, they always do, but I felt like the Nuggets let the refs get in their heads a bit tonight. Like Michael Malone picked up a technical, or he almost picked up a technical. Yeah, KCP got one. I felt like there was just too much complaining going on. Jeff Green played 28 minutes, pulled down 2 rebounds. No surprise there. DeAndre Jordan actually, He was pretty terrible defensively tonight, I thought, even though he was a +10.
Not that first play of the game when he pounded RJ Barrett's soul into the
Hitting
ground.
that. Bruce Brown was okay, but he had 4 turnovers. Like, not enough Nuggets role players played well tonight.
Yeah.
And
It's tough though, man. They played good enough to win. They all played good enough to win. The quote unquote starters that when they came back in and were like, oh, we're up 10. And they just like cruised. I mean, the role player, because I know what you mean, but like it's tough to like KCP was good in moments and he was like fine in moments. He was like at a KCP game that normally if you have Nikola Jokic running the show, you're like, oh, KCP's dope, dude.
It's just that the starters went scoreless in the fourth. Like that's gonna be
the starters went scoreless in the fourth.
That's left in my mouth for any of their performances. You know,
Yeah.
It's just there was a winnable game right there in the fourth. You throw out all of the other context, no Jokic, whatever. It's a winnable game. This team's on a back-to-back. Go get it. And they all came up short. So that's the part. You know, when I do grades, like I'll look at how well they might have played for 3 quarters, and then everyone's getting all those starters are getting knocked down a peg because it was just so bad.
Yeah. But the bottom line is Nikola Jokic is not going to play this next game, most likely. He might be out the game after that. They need somebody to step up, especially against Dallas. I know Dallas lost tonight. We'll get to that around the association. No Luka Doncic. I'm sure he'll be playing against Denver, but like they just need somebody, to step up a little more. Ideally, that will be Michael Porter Jr. Like I'd be pretty surprised if he went 1 of 8 again. It's most likely got to be him, but they're just going to need guys to step up, specifically some of the role guys on this team. Not having Aaron Gordon tonight, I think, was a huge loss as well because late in this game, the Nuggets, I feel like Michael Malone was probably torn a bit, or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he always knew he was going to close with Jeff Green, but DeAndre Jordan definitely wasn't going to close because, the Knicks were playing Julius Randle at the 5 in the fourth. It wasn't going to be Zeke Nnaji. He was fouling too much. He was just a little unpredictable. It was probably always going to be Jeff Green. But if Aaron Gordon was playing, it would have been Aaron Gordon.
Right.
For sure.
Right?
No question.
And, I mean, you wonder about him. He's got a non-COVID illness as of now. You wonder if that develops into a COVID illness like sometimes those things do.
Oh, my God.
But Aaron Gordon's been great on the glass this year. He just had 17 rebounds in a game not that long ago. I mean, just having him vote might have turned this game.
It's huge. And I feel like it's been a couple of times in a row now where he's missed maybe I feel like in my head he's missed a game that Jokic has also missed.
Maybe.
And I always think it's not just Jokic. You can't just reduce it to Jokic. Especially on a night where they could have maybe used more physicality. It would have been great to have some lineups where they could have gotten out and run more. You would have thought that would have been a big part of this game, as Eric mentioned in the pregame, and I think AG could have, would have been conducive to that, his presence.
Nuggets had 12 fast break points tonight.
Yeah,
the Knicks had 21.
You got to think he would have contributed on that end. A little bit better of a rebounder. Would have liked to see his defense on Julius Randle. Jeff Green got rocked in that first half.
Yeah. Also, just Aaron Gordon's physicality.
Just physicality.
Yeah.
Just a different
He's
element.
a guy that brings that. I think the Nuggets definitely need more of that on this team. And if they're going to trade for somebody or make an acquisition at the trade deadline, they've got to get somebody who brings physicality. He would have been a good matchup on Julius Randle.
Right.
He would have just brought some toughness in the fourth, I feel like. So, yeah, they really missed Aaron Gordon tonight. You missed Aaron Gordon, I feel like.
I think it's more about me and my feelings
That's
about
right.
Aaron Gordon.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's like seeing him on the court. Like his hairdo this season. I think it's like his best hairdo we've seen so far.
It's improving, yeah.
Don't you think? Do you think it's his number one hairdo? It bunched up in the back with the braids.
I might like the braids. Just full braids.
Just full braids.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. This is the best hairdo.
You are the expert on this.
Man. No, listen. I hated this game.
Yeah.
I hated this game.
Do we have Dev, Yair? Do we have him waiting? Well, can we go to Dev here?
Let's get that guy.
From the arena. I've never talked to Dev
if Dev's not
while
holding
I've been
ice
on the
cream.
show and while he's been at the arena.
Yeah.
If he's not doing dishes or something, I'm
Look at him.
I'm going to be disappointed.
He's being ascended to heaven. Oh, and he's not paying attention either.
There's Dev.
You guys there?
Yes, we can hear you, man.
Hey.
How are you?
How's it going? At Ball Arena, dishes everywhere. With, cans and pots and things like that. And there's not a lot of finishes. Not a lot of finishes here.
Dev, what was your big takeaway from tonight?
The big takeaway was this was a perfect opportunity for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. to be the guys, to be able to score and get their offense going again. They did it. Jamal Murray had a okay game, but this was one of Michael Porter Jr.'s worst games, and he got down on himself and he just kind of shied away from the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a golden opportunity for Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. to just kind of take this game over. Jamal Murray tried to.
That is true.
He couldn't in the fourth, though. Michael Malone just spoke post-game. What did he have to say, Dev? What was interesting that Michael Malone had to say?
Well, he said that there's no moral victories, as we know. That's Malone's big thing. He did say they were down 2 starters, and it was just kind of sad that they didn't execute more. He said if they took care of the ball, he feels like that is a game that they clearly would have won. So just making sure that they take care of the ball, execute, especially late in games, and just compete on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, 15 turnovers for the Nuggets tonight. It felt like the Knicks definitely capitalized on a lot of them. Yeah, definitely did not take care of the ball in the fourth for sure.
Also, I have a question. Did you try to make your camera lens dirty? Is this an intentional thing? Do you like the effect of full white streaks that cover your entire body? Was this intentional?
Yeah, the worst part is it was worse than this. It was actually just worse than this.
I don't believe that.
I feel like that. Also,
See, now you guys understand how hard it is. When I'm post-game at the arena and you're giving me shit for my camera, blah, blah, blah.
Listen.
What is that angle? You look like you got...
If you're saying now we understand what it's like to be deeply unprofessional, I do understand that. It's just nice to know that you also suffer from that same affliction.
My computer was shot.
What else did Malone have to say, Dev?
He was big on the bench. He said that he feels like the bench did play great. He specifically called out Zeke Nnaji, Bones Hyland, and also the minutes from Vlatko.
Nice.
He talked about Bones stepping in. He said that it was kind of like tough if he was going to actually play in this game, just because he didn't test negative until today. He wasn't worried more so about the test, but rather than just not playing in a couple of days and then just going straight in. But he loved those minutes that he gave in the game. And he just said in the warm-ups, he had a lot of coaches that were just watching Bones and just seeing how he was responding to things. So it was truly a questionable call until warm-ups.
If I need one player to play after sitting out and not doing anything and sitting at their house for 5 days, it's definitely Bones Hyland.
Can you imagine if he didn't play in that game?
Oh man, the vibes would be way worse. Anything else, Dev?
Yeah, he went on to talk about Zeke Nnaji. He said that Zeke's a guy that's not playing as much as he wanted to, but the good thing about Zeke is that he stays ready every single time. He went on to talk about how he's playing aggressive, made a 3, got to the foul line. He was very aggressive on the boards, and just prepared for the moment. So that was the highs. He did go on to talk about MPJ. The question was asked about him just being aggressive and putting him into those situations. He said that Michael has to stay aggressive. It's not on me. He has to play better. He can't allow disappointments and missing shots mess up the other parts of his game. So he feels like MPJ was very upset about not making shots, and it just started to translate out. And that's something that he called out, very direct.
Yeah, I mean, we could see that too. And if Michael Porter is not making shots, that sucks. But if that takes him out of the rest of his game,
come on, man,
that's even worse. And that's just something that's not going to fly with Michael Malone for sure.
Yeah, the last thing that I'll leave you with, he did say that he does not expect Jokic or Aaron Gordon to play into the next game. He didn't go into details on them. He just said that they should be prepared to play as if they won't have both of those guys.
So it sounds like Aaron Gordon has COVID.
Cool.
That's what I'll take away from that. Or he has a really bad non-COVID illness. I don't know. What was the atmosphere there like today, Dev? Curious.
It was pretty like mellow until like those big Bones moments.
Yeah.
Every time that Bones hit a big shot, it erupted. Especially when Bones hit that buzzer beater, the crowd went crazy. He's a guy that's just so entertaining. He's into the crowd. Everybody just kind of watches what he does. Also, late in the game, it was a pretty big Knicks crowd. Late in the game, when they finally took the lead,
Super
the crowd
cool.
started getting very loud.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for giving us
Well,
the
hold on.
lowdown.
Did you guys do the perch?
We kind of did the purge. We kind of did the purge. They said that Harrison is not being as consistent as he can be.
Oh boy.
So that's why they haven't been perching the same.
Oh,
Wait. How'd I get thrown into this?
Well, yes, who said that? Adam.
Unbelievable. Oh.
All right, I'll bring that up with him in segment 3.
There it is. There it is, dude. The call's coming from inside the house.
Oh, man. All right, Dev. We appreciate it, man. Take care.
See you, Dev. See you, Dev. We miss you.
That was good to see, Dev.
It was pretty
It brought
good,
my
wasn't
vibes up slightly, but not that much. I've got to take about Bones Hyland that I was going to bring up earlier, but I forgot. I feel like he's leveled up as a shooter this year. Like, he shot 37% from
Definitely.
3 last year.
Definitely.
This season, he's at around 50%. But the thing is, he's taking, like, tougher threes and deeper threes, I feel like. I got to look at the numbers, but I feel like he's, like, leveled up and his shot selection has been tougher. He's getting guarded closer. Defenses are paying more attention to him. He's higher up on the scouting report than he was last year. I just feel like he's leveled up as a shooter.
Yeah, I agree. I think it actually took a while for that part of his game to come around the rookie season. We actually saw flashes of other things first, and then it was finally the logo threes. And now I think you're seeing that reputation really manifest. He's shooting from deeper. He's shooting off the dribble. Even sometimes, some not as great shots, but he's hitting them. So I think he looks like a much more dangerous guy from 3, and that's necessary with this unit right now, not this unit tonight, but the bench unit in general. So he looks way more confident from deep, and it looks like a real weapon for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think just what adds insult to injury tonight is that the Knicks look so bad for a lot
Dude,
of
we were
this
clowning
game,
the
man.
Knicks. We were calling out each individual Knick. We were laughing at their various deficiencies and, imagining a world where you'd have to cheer for these bums, and then they beat us.
They just won the hardest back-to-back in basketball.
They did.
Are
You
they?
got to give him props.
Oh, my God.
Julius Randle killed the Nuggets tonight. Jalen Brunson had 21. He played well, 21, 5, and 7.
No.
Derrick Rose had 13 off the bench. My
No.
guy, Jericho Sims. What do the Knicks want for Jericho Sims? Like, can we open this trade negotiation right now?
What about Vlatko and
I think they just hung up the phone. Jericho Sims was great, I thought, for the Knicks tonight.
Wind had some real roster envy for the New York Knicks.
For just one guy.
I know.
For just one guy.
he's the
I was
third
just
string-
envisioning him as our backup center.
Hey, man, he's the third string center when Mitchell Robinson is healthy. He's got to be available.
Yeah.
Right?
But a lot of the guys on this New York team were just awful tonight. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein, trash.
Adams guy?
He was awful tonight. 22 minutes. He barely played. He was getting outplayed by the third string center. RJ Barrett, one of my least favorite players in the NBA,
Yeah, you guys
was
were
awful
really,
tonight.
really all over RJ Barrett.
Well, RJ Barrett, man, people talk about him he can be the centerpiece of the Donovan Mitchell trade, and you actually watch him play.
Right.
And there's no way this guy is good.
Yeah, he's sauceless.
There's no way RJ Barrett is good.
Yeah.
You talked about the let the Knicks beat them from 3 strategy, and that actually was super effective if you take Julius Randle just out of the whole equation.
Well, Julius Randle only shot 3 of 10.
That's what I'm saying, right?
He made 2
Yeah.
early and then just kept shooting, which was a good thing. The Knicks shot 23.5%
How
from
do we
3
lose this
tonight.
game?
Dude, those RJ misses had me looking for a bomb shelter. They were hitting
dude,
the rim so hard.
Can we not? Can we just sit here and just fume? I didn't want to talk
That's
about
what we're
this.
doing, right?
Let's hit another break. Let's hit another
I'm trying to be
break.
healthy
Chill,
about it. I want to
chill.
be unhealthy.
We'll be back. We'll go around the association. We'll talk to Adam Mars, who's at the arena. We'll hit all of that on the other side.
Yeah. on the other side of this break that I am just
Oh,
super prepared for.
Brendan Vogt, a.k.a. the Denver Nuggets starters in the fourth.
Nice.
Dude, not ready.
That's actually a bit too far.
My
Breckenridge Brewery
apologies.
is the official beer of DNVR. They also have seltzers. You can buy
Love
those
the
at the bar as
seltzers.
well. We love our Breck beer products here at DNVR. There's the Mile High City Capalaga.
Kapala.
The Capalaga. Has nothing to do with Boston, but I can't help myself. It's got a sleek blue can. It's got the new nice Nuggets logo on there. You can't miss it if you don't know where to find it. Just check out the Breck Beer Locator. It's a neat little tool.
Yep.
You tell it what kind of beer you want, and it tells you precisely where to go. That's my kind of tool. So check out the Breck Beer Locator. Check out the Breckenridge Brewery.
Do you think they could locate this Breck Brew in my
What are you
hand?
drinking right now?
Mile High Copper Lager.
Oh, of course. Why'd I even ask?
Why would you
Why
ask
did
a
I
question
even-
like this?
What a stupid question.
Game Time is the hottest new ticketing app, and there are a lot of ticketing apps, but the difference with Game Time is you're just going to get the best last-second prices you'll ever see on tickets to sports, concert, shows, Nuggets games. I would wager, especially Nuggets games without Jokic, those tickets might be for sale. But if you ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could, 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, or wherever his Dev is sitting when he is international, you won't find a better deal this season on the Denver Nuggets than Game Time. It's created by the fans, it's for the fans, and it guarantees the lowest price. If you love DNVR, you'll love Game Time, and the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Yaya's got it pulled up. Make sure you're checking out the descriptions of these shows on YouTube, on your podcast descriptions, however you get it, because we got some info in there, sometimes some deals for you, so make sure you're checking that out. Make sure you're buying your tickets through that link at Game Time.
Should we go around the association, guys?
Please.
Let's go around the association. I want to start here in Phoenix.
Do you?
If the vibes could get any worse, man, the Suns beat the Warriors 130 to 119 in a game where Steph Curry had 50 points.
He had 50 points.
Steph Curry went for 50 tonight, 17 of 28 shooting, 7-11 from 3, and the Warriors lost by double digits to the Suns.
Bro.
That is a weird situation. How long? What's the
Campaign started. Chris Paul didn't even play in this game.
What's the threshold for a poor start for Golden State where we stop
Where they,
saying
yeah, where it's just like they're starting slow versus this, like how the Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl last year.
right?
Yeah.
They've won like a game this year.
Like how long does this have to go on before you're not penciling the Warriors in as contenders? Is that possible?
I still will, probably until like they lose in the first round.
Yeah, I feel you.
I
I'm the
mean-
same way actually.
They're 6-9 right now. They're 0-8 on the road.
How can this be? What is the difference?
Their bench. They have
They have a terrible bench.
and Steve Kerr's doing like a lot of like lesson teaching with the rotations as much
Yeah.
as he is like coaching to win games right now.
I almost
There's
feel
a
like the
whole-
Warriors could be. They're 6-9. I feel like they could be like 10-4 if they really wanted to.
Right.
But they're trying to explore their bench.
You go. I know
Like
they
Zeke
just won the
Nnaji was
title.
exploring his game at Summer League.
Yeah,
the
that's
the
the-
Warriors are trying to explore their bench right
Yes.
now and their young guys.
I would imagine. Yeah, it's not the championship rotation. You
Yeah.
know, they're going through some stuff. I do not want to sleep on the Warriors. Just to be clear, Chad. I'm just asking because at a certain point, the slow start goes really long.
They're going to make a trade, and it's going to be James Wiseman for somebody.
Clay's been bad too. Clay's
Yeah.
been bad.
The Dallas Mavericks, who the Nuggets are about to play 2 games against, maybe without Nikola Jokic, they lost to your Houston Rockets, Eric Weedum. Your Houston Rockets beat the Mavs 101 to 92. Houston gets their 3rd win of the season.
Dude, what if we lost tonight, not to the Knicks, who just completed the most difficult back-to-back in all of basketball, but to the Houston Rockets?
No Dallas Mav starter scored in double figures tonight.
That's pretty bad.
That's real bad.
That's
Would you
hard
rather
to
have
do.
that or scoreless in the 4th?
Oh, man.
That's a fun question, huh?
neither.
Sleep on that, everyone.
The Minnesota Timberwolves guys, they're hot.
What?
I love
They're
it.
back up to 7-8. They've won 2 in a row. They beat
right.
the Orlando Magic tonight, 126 to 108. 30 points for Karl Towns. Rudy Gobert had a nice game. Their starters killed it. I mean, they beat the Magic, but at least it was a W for Minnesota. Bowl, 26 points, 12 rebounds,
26?
3 blocks.
God
Minus
damn,
22.
This bowl thing is so maddening. Why couldn't he care 1% when he was in
You
Denver?
just gotta do yourself a favor and check the Magic record every time you start to get.
No, I know, but
I know. I'm just saying it helps. It's a helpful.
The Magic are
antidote.
4 and
not
11.
helpful.
Yeah.
But why couldn't he try 1%?
I think he tried 1%.
I would say one was probably.
I think you're selling him short, actually.
I think he gave
1%.
Why couldn't he try 5%?
That might be about accurate. I'm hearing we do have Adam Mares at Ball Arena. He just finished up talking to Jamal Murray, I think, to Bones Hyland, I think, spoke to
man.
the media tonight. Curious to hear what those
let's
guys
make
had
fun
to
of his
say.
setup. Oh, here we go.
Adam, I just saw you, and
Yeah.
then you went off camera. I know you're right
What are
there.
you doing?
You guys found me.
We gotcha.
Look at the setup. I got the wind where it's up high, I'm down low.
In case anyone was not aware, Adam is the father of 2 young children. these are his jokes. Adam, could you jiggle your keys for us or anything?
You're so dumb.
He has
Man, I have
kids,
to-
not dogs. Well, he does have dogs, but
I have to entertain myself because this was not that entertaining of a game. But
was
that's
not
my
good.
number one takeaway.
yeah.
It
I was going to ask you for your big takeaway, but was that it?
That was definitely one of them. Team, down the stretch looked like they didn't know what they were doing, which I guess is understandable. First game without Yoke, scoreless, whatever. I thought the ball got sticky, whatever. But you don't want to hear about me. You want to hear from Jamal and from Bones, I think.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to start with Jamal? I mean, what did he have to say?
So Jamal was surly. He was. You had mentioned this maybe to us earlier that Jamal might be getting back to his surly self with the media. That was definitely the case tonight. I only have 2 things to say about him. Number one, he said, he was asked a bunch of questions about execution down the stretch, this or that. He didn't want to talk about that. He did mention though that he thinks the team is a lot better than what they showed tonight and should have won this game. I think the whole team feels like this was one that got away. So it was hey, this was a loss.
So do we.
This was a win turned into a loss. But the one thing he said was that he was mad at himself. He thought he, in particular, kind of lost this game, or at least was, missed the shots that he usually makes or that he says is his responsibility to make. So it's my only note. He was very short. Didn't seem like he really wanted to talk a whole lot, but he did sort of shoulder the blame for how the game ended.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Denver pretty much put the ball in his hands. Like they were like, Jamal, win this or lose this for us. Like it was up
He's
to
like,
him.
bet,
about it.
I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, we lost a lot of those tonight.
Katie Wingy put this out. Then she was very nervous, so she got the Bones thing wrong early. But she said that the starters did not score in the fourth. Did you guys go over that? Did they not score a single point? In the fourth
We
quarter?
said that on the show. I didn't look it up, but
We took it for we also reported. We took it for gospel. We did no back checking.
it certainly felt like that.
We also
so that's
didn't-
why I believed it.
We also didn't learn our lesson from the pregame tweet. So
I mean, DeAndre Jordan did not score in the fourth. Michael Porter did not score in the fourth.
Jamal Murray had to have scored.
Man,
Jamal
how
Murray-
How about Michael Porter tonight, man? That was a
Bro.
very
we talked
noteworthy
about
game, I would say. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, I mean, it just hurts because like there was so much opportunity there
Yep.
for him, and yeah, couldn't take advantage.
One of the things that happened tonight, and I'll just go into Bones. Bones was a little bit more, had a little bit more to say. But one of the things about Bones tonight, or one thing he said, that guys closing tonight were in different spots in different roles than they are used to, and that maybe not everybody kind of knew what they were supposed to do in those. So some of the 5 turnovers in the clutch, no baskets, not really any the execution was very, very bad. And I think some of this was you get guys that usually play the 3 are now at the 4. You get guys that usually aren't in this group. They're in this group. They're the trigger on an action. And, that's not an excuse. This is a professional basketball team. But I think that that's what you saw tonight. When you talk about losing Yoke, yes, you lose the points, the creation, this or that. But you also put guys in different roles. And I think that's what you saw in the fourth quarter was even with the bench unit at times, you just had guys that weren't used to being in the spots that they were. Bones made reference to that. And it sounds like it was one of those things that was a big deal to the team down the stretch that guys just didn't know how to execute the things they were being asked to.
Yeah, there just wasn't a lot of late game confidence. Like I didn't feel like the Nuggets felt confident in themselves.
No, it was very clear that what you just said, Adam, that they didn't know what their roles were, where to be,
Yeah.
who's in charge, who should be taking the shot. They weren't even running plays down the end. It was just
Well, they
trying to
were.
get you-
They were running plays. I think that was. I mean, in particular, I mean, the one thing, I tried to ask Jamal about that last play because Malone said there was a big breakdown. It turns into basically an ISO. That
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be an ISO. That was a play that just never happened. Again, I think because guys not used to running it in the spots that they were or what have you, guys kind of moving over into different roles. So again, not an excuse, but something to kind of note. You think about all that, like it's going to happen again on, the next game. They're going to be put in unique spots. Bones did say though that the first few days, so he said he kind of walked us through how this COVID thing went down. And as he's at the arena or getting to the arena, he says like, man, I'm feeling kind of weird. He said nothing like really bad. I'm just feeling really weird. And I told the training staff, they sent me home, go rest up, and then obviously tested positive and was just stuck in Boston, flew home by himself, like separate of the team, but just flew back on his own, and then tested
Southwest?
right before maybe like that's what's funny. You could have seen Bones right there, but the way the protocols work are I'm sure you guys talked about this in the pregame. I'm gonna screw this up. You have to test. And you have I don't know if it's antibodies or what it is that you have, and once you get to a certain level, like the test will come back and say you have 30, you score 25. You have to pass a certain threshold. So with Bones, they were confident that he would because I guess his last test that he failed yesterday was right there.
Yeah.
And then today it obviously passed. But that obviously informs you to how this works. He shows up tonight not knowing if he's going to pass this test, if he's going to be able to play or not. Does the test, passes, and it's like, boom, you're in. So with Nikola, I think it's going to be the same thing. I don't think it's going to be he'll be back X day or whatever. He'll probably just keep testing, and one day he'll pass.
Right. The NBA has access to these tests where it tells you what you get this number spit back. And if your number is below a certain amount or above a certain amount, I can't remember which one, but you're not contagious anymore. And so that's when you can come back if your number is in that certain range. And yeah, you can kind of predict where it's going to go.
Another thing from Bones tonight, he said that he thought that the difference in the game in the fourth quarter was toughness. He said they straight out toughed us. And I have to agree watching this game. I mean, it was very physical. Randall's obviously one of the more physical guys in the league. But there were just moments where the play I'm thinking of in particular, Zeke Nnaji, that he's the entry, and I think Randall kind of gets around him and steals it. That's just one where it's like, hey, are you willing to battle for the possession and position on the block or position on the elbows or whatever? But he said it 2 times that they just out-toughed them tonight.
Definitely agree.
Chanchar and Zeke got a shout-out from Bones. He thought they gave great energy and physicality. I have to agree. I thought so as well. And then I asked him about, Malone's is it going to be Jamal that goes to the bench or Michael Porter? I know that wasn't an issue tonight, but does that change things? And he said, not really. My approach doesn't change. Like whoever's out there, I'm not going to tailor my game to either guy. I wonder if that'll change in the coming weeks. He hasn't actually had to make that decision yet, but it was something kind of interesting. At least at this moment, he doesn't think his game changes based on if he's given Jamal or Michael Porter to run with the second unit.
Yeah. I think Bones is just going to be Bones. Really, regardless of who's out there.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Thanks,
all I
man. You
have
got
for
anything
you.
else?
The arena was, I think the arena was not that great tonight because I just don't think there was that many crazy plays. It got really hyped when Bones caught fire and hit the
Right.
one and stuff. It was one, but it was kind of the only moment. The rest of the game had this weird, it had Tuesday night energy, Wednesday night energy.
Yeah. We've got Wednesday night energy too, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look up, people.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, man.
Later.
See you
I
later.
thought he too looked a little streaky, a little blown out.
I know,
Yeah,
I
might want to
feel
reset the camera and wipe off the
I should have called him
lens.
out more than I did. I didn't call him out at all. And
Yeah.
I really laid into Dev.
Yeah.
And I have to look inward as to why I treated one differently than the other. And I think it's because Adam's just the boss.
Think about that. Going back to around the association here, let's finish up with a couple more games and then get out of here. The Bucks beat the Cavs. The Cavs have lost 5 in a row or something after their hot start. Giannis didn't even play that good of a game, but Cavs couldn't even score 100 points. The Pelicans beat the Bulls. No surprise there.
The Bulls are
The Bulls are bad, guys.
Yeah,
They're bad.
that was not a good looking team.
The Thunder beat Brendan Vogt's Washington Wizards 121 to 100.
Did you see the SGA game
Shea
shot?
Gilgeous-Alexander, 42 points.
Dude,
the game winner.
he's automatic.
He's unbelievable. And the game winner tonight, I mean, the one remaining knock on him is he's not much of a jump shooter.
Yeah.
It was a step back three right in Monte's grill, by the way.
Ouch.
Defense,
Right in Monte's grill.
Not Monte's forte.
Let's see what else we got here. The Celtics beat the Hawks, Vote.
Yeah. How did Tatum play?
Tatum did not even have that good of a game.
Oh,
19
thank God.
points.
Can you actually read me the stats? Because he's been amazing.
He was a plus 28, though.
Don't say, no, the shooting numbers.
Finally, the Pacers beat the Charlotte Hornets. That's about all I got.
All right.
Man, tough night. Tough night, guys.
I feel
I had a tough night.
Yeah, dude. I don't think we brought it.
Well, the Nuggets didn't bring it in the fourth quarter.
You know what I mean? But I feel like we could have dug a little deeper. Like I feel like after that quick recap, like you just
Did that bring you down to a level you just couldn't recover from?
After that, dude. Like I don't feel like you.
Let's all give each other notes. Right, so Eric thinks Wind was a little mopey.
Dude, you was a little mopey.
I thought Eric was a little sad tonight. I thought he was a little too negative.
You know what am I supposed to do, man? Like
I don't know. They did just lose to the Knicks. So.
All right, let's all go back, think about this, come back better people.
Dude, we have to have a bloggers only meeting
next post game show.
Yeah, bloggers only meeting.
Do we have any super chats to get to, Yair?
Oh,
We got
only
a few
a
to
few.
get
dude, the
to.
realist. We have
Shout out
people
to
giving
you
us
guys.
Super chats after this game. We are about to read off a list of the real ones right now.
Trevor says,
Trevor's a real
I don't
one.
know if the final play was what Malone drew up, but seriously, is he the worst ATO coach in the league? His rotations were great tonight, though. He has actually a lot of good ATOs. I don't think that last play was what he drew up. It seemed to me like Jeff Green thought about going up the set of screen and then didn't.
Yeah.
That's my first initial reaction
And
after watching it back once.
And then what Adam just told us, it did seem like, whatever was drew up just never occurred.
Yeah. I actually think he has some good ATOs.
He had to get creative with the lineups tonight. And
Yeah.
he found something.
He
with
did
that
find a
lineup.
great
He
lineup
did
with
find
that
something
Blocko
with
lineup
that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Mortgage advisors, once again, punked. We have aversion to toughness. Nuggets were not tough enough tonight. They definitely were
I
not.
think that's fair tonight. Yeah,
That is
it's
fair.
definitely
That is
fair.
absolutely fair. Basil Carpenter. I wish the Nuggets would have re-signed DeMarcus Cousins. We're going to hear this a lot this year. He was physical.
I've reached my threshold, actually.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I wish we had I don't know. The
I
thing
kind of
about-
wish they did too.
The thing about it is that no one has since signed
That's
him.
the messed up part.
He's still available.
Well, I think
for
that
signing.
you can read into why.
But like,
Ba-
whatever. Apparently, DeAndre Jordan was the MVP of training camp.
I didn't say that.
because he had such
I
great
said, just
vibes.
to be clear, only I said
Because he
that.
had such great vibe. I'd be like, can we get a guy that can just knock down a shot and can be a jerk to the other team? Like,
Drunk Philosophy says everyone's playing better when they leave Malone.
that's not true.
He's talking about your guy Bol
That's
probably.
true.
Bull's just playing. That's what's happening. Bull is playing basketball, which he wasn't doing.
He was not formally playing basketball.
Yeah. Jared Vanderbilt.
There's something there. There's something there.
Joey Moya, the COVID jersey debut brings COVID with it. We can blame it on that. We can blame
So
this night on
true.
that if we really
Dude,
want to.
Let's talk about it really quick. What did you guys think about the jersey on the floor? I found it to be exquisitely boring.
I thought it was bad.
Yeah, it was
I didn't like
underwhelming.
it.
Underwhelming,
Yeah.
yeah.
It to me looked
It looked
exactly
weird.
just like
It just
like
looked
our
weird to
away
me.
jerseys, and the positive COVID blue marks on the side. You're like, what are those? What?
They also almost put down the new City Edition court and then didn't.
Yeah.
Or did and then
Yo,
didn't.
let's like. Do we have any tinfoil hats? Why did they remove?
What's
they removed
going
a court.
on in Denver?
They removed a court in between shoot around.
We were
and
at
the
shoot
game.
around this morning. The City Edition court that just says Denver, it's really boring, was there. And then at game time, it wasn't. I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. Drunk Philosophy again. Sean Cordes, fire Malone, give $5, and we keep him.
Dude, this is the fun. Like, I mean, this game is just like, this is a game that just makes you so angry. There is nothing to pull from this game. Malone does not need to be fired because of the rotations of like the lesser versions of the Nuggets.
I agree.
like,
Here's Jamie. Why does it feel like we never get an easy look out of a timeout, especially in crunch time? Why is Malone drawing on the clipboard during timeouts? Or what is Malone drawing on the clipboard during timeouts? I mean, tonight, like like we were just saying, I think he drew up a different play than was actually run. I don't think he drew up a Jamal Murray ISO with 10 seconds left.
I also think there's like a bias in play with this one of you're going to notice all the ones that don't work out,
Yeah.
And I think maybe the efficacy rate is a little
Yeah, I
different.
highlighted a out of bounds play that I really liked in Wind Chimes a couple weeks ago. That Malone drew up. I think he does have some
The one
good
where
plays.
Jokic like streaked to the basket and then Jamal
There was
passed
that
it in.
one, and then there's this other one they run where they just like clear a whole side the floor, and Jamal Murray and Jokic just run a 2-man game. It's like a bucket every time.
All right, what else we got? We appreciate all these. We appreciate all.
Dude, this is the
Gordon.
realest ones. Gordon alert.
It was a damn good try and almost pulled it out. Ride and die Nuggets.
Let's go. Let's die.
Ride and die.
Let's die.
We died
baby.
tonight.
Gordon,
I love Gordon.
is inspirational.
I love these people.
Doc,
dude.
no. MPJ takes more heat than Jamal, but just had third surgery. Scores more than Jamal. Is 0.4 rebounds behind AG and gets no rhythm chances. Maul coughed this one up. Yeah, I mean, Jamal was bad in the fourth, absolutely. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. just no-show tonight, though.
I think they can both get their hefty share.
Yeah,
of
this is
blame.
like one
Yeah.
of these things where you're like, you're arguing to figure out who's the worst in a competition of two guys that were bad. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think, like, Porter gets a lot of blame, at least. When I'm hard on Porter, it comes from a place of, like, me knowing that he can be so much more than he is. And it's frustrating on nights like tonight and, like, through a lot of his career when, like, you can just see the pathway to him being
Of course.
the player that he can be and reaching his potential, but he just there's like this wall that he can't break through almost.
Well, this tonight, the frustrating part is that he was like kind of being petulant. Like he was like acting like things weren't going his way, so he just wasn't. It was like, well, whatever. And you're like, bro, no, come on, man. Like you gotta.
Those can be learning moments. Went through that in Boston. Responds with the best game of the season.
Totally.
So what does he have in store from here?
Yeah. Sean Cortez is back. Won't spend $1 to keep
go,
him
dude.
alone. Cheap.
By the way, I appreciate all the super chats. I'm gonna skip your drunk philosophy. Guy buying money to talk shit.
And Joseph, last one of the night. Murray seems to get jealous and purposely looks off MPJ sometimes. Porter had early buckets and Jamal purposely stopped passing to him.
Interesting.
He had
Interesting.
an early bucket.
Bucket singular.
Singular. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to go back and watch. I don't know why Jamal would do that. Like,
These dynamics do exist. On
sure,
basketball
they absolutely
teams.
do. I don't know if that is one.
We gotta dig in a little deeper though. But
That's your
why
homework
would
assignment.
he do it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
All right. That's all the time we got for tonight. Thanks for
Oh,
tuning in.
man.
You guys are the real ones,
Dude,
you
the
know.
real-
You
I
guys who
cannot
super
believe-
chatted, you guys who hung out through the whole show in the chat, you guys are
lifted
the
us
real
up.
ones.
You lifted us up. I was ready to pack it in as a person,
Absolutely.
and now I'm back.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, guys. The Nuggets go to Dallas. They've
Oh,
got a
baby.
2-game set there in a couple days. We'll be back then. Talk to you guys later.
Let's go.